Salt Lake City did something we've never seen before, and that is an entire episode from start to finish took place at the same event. And a premiere episode and an opening event. I mean, the producers must have been like, thank God. When they did this is their first event. So much happened last season with Monica and then Monica not coming back. There was a whole big uproar, concern. What's the show going to be without Monica? And then they film the opening event. And they're like, okay, so we don't need to worry. There's no issues here. That was an incredible, it was groundbreaking television is what it was. But I'm going to get into Orange County first today because I have less to say about Orange County than I do about Salt Lake City. So before the Salt Lake City premiere recap, we're doing Orange County. And if you are new to the show, hi, I'm Emily, and I recap the latest episodes of your favorite reality TV, and I wrap up the week's entertainment news every Sunday live on YouTube at 10 a.m. PT. I post 3 to 4 new episodes a week, so make sure you are following, subscribing, liking, and commenting. And now let's get into it. Okay, this episode of Orange County, you got a little meat in the beginning and then nothing really until the end. Not to say that there wasn't interesting stuff throughout, but just like nothing really worth, not nothing, but like not a lot worth recapping. The big thing here is Shannon reads a text from her lawyer to Gina. There was a preview going around last week, so you probably already saw it before this even came out, the episode. But the text, because she reached out to her attorney to be like, well, have you heard back from John? What's the deal? She reads this text from her attorney. Yes, they're actually standing on the fact that they want those videos for blackmail purposes. Their exact words were, John needs some sort of insurance policy in case Shannon goes off the rails. I beg your pardon. What does that mean? Off the rails how? Where? What is that? What do you... Shannon actually didn't want anything bad about John out there. Shannon maybe called a friend when she shouldn't have, quote unquote, shouldn't have, and said some stuff. But Shannon was actively trying to get everyone to like John and was freaking out that whole last reunion because she knew John was going to get mad at her. So what do you mean going off the rails? What does that even mean? Like, it's so clear that John knows Shannon is right about the things she said because he's so psychotically determined to show how bad she is, which is going to be like, see, she's so bad. How could I have been that bad if someone that bad said that about me? All you're doing, just like Emily says, this lawsuit is backfiring on John. John is trying to restore his reputation by doing this? By doing this? No, sir. Not cool. Not happening. And then Emily even reads the definition of an extortion, and it's like, that's literally what John is doing. And so now them doing all those fucking interviews, or Alexis doing the interviews with John present, I'm sure at every interview he's like on the other side of the camera telling her what to say. But all of those interviews now where it's like, no, he never had any intentions of releasing the videos. Oh, really, Alexis? Well, guess what? His lawyer responded to Shannon's lawyer, and now it's on fucking record that he said he wants those videos as a backup plan. You are fucked, sir. Wow, I'm really heated about this. But this is so despicable, and his plan is backfiring so much, and they're trying to go and do this like damage control bullshit. You have no leg to stand on. You're despicable. Despicable. You were with Shannon voluntarily. It's not like she had a gun to your head. It makes you look bad, John, that you want to disparage someone that you spent years of your life with. You chose that too. It's not like she could have forced you to stay, because there were times she says that she wishes she could have forced him to stay, but he would like ignore her. Remember the fights that paralyzed me? Oh, I'm so disgusted by him and of her. The way they're going on interviews and trying to be like, no, we never said that. Everyone's overreacting. But I don't want to sign the non-disparagement clause because why would I put a muzzle on myself? Because you want the money? I don't know. You don't want the money. You want to humiliate her. And now thank God cameras were rolling during this. Because honestly, it wouldn't have worked out as well for Shannon. He could have been alleging these things and we're only reading it in headlines and documents and whatnot. But no, now we're like, we are watching this and you're disgusting. Okay, besides that, which I apparently have a lot of feelings about, Emily gets into her feelings on the fashion show, and she's telling Katie and Jen about it. Now, I know I was pretty, not brutal about it last week, but like, I do understand Emily's struggle because I am there. Like, I'm always the biggest one. Literally, like I may have lost weight from when I first started the show to now, but I'm still always the biggest one when I go to something that's going to involve needing to have clothes given to me and whatnot. Like I'm not. So I get her struggle, but I also know this is my thing. And it was a little crazy to me that Emily was so upset that she was given a size 12 and Alexis was given a smaller size of the same dress. I'm like, but that's because you're bigger than Alexis. And that's fine. Like, be bigger than Alexis. I'm so baffled by this. And she's like, I didn't feel good in the dress. I felt like I was going to court, but the dress fit her. When they showed a flashback of it, I'm like, yeah, the dress was, I don't remember the dress looking bulky or weird on her. It looked fine on her. And then she was the only one to be asked to bring jeans. Katie can't wait to fan this. That's the only thing. Jen is looking like, I don't know. But Katie's like, yep. All of that was definitely intentional. 100% on purpose. I'm like, okay. I don't think so. But we will put a pin in that. What happens in the middle of the episode? Heather goes to the GLAAD Awards. Alexis is there too. And Meredith Marks, which was hysterical. Katie and Tamara go candle making with their daughters. Katie opens up a little bit about saying goodbye to her son when he goes to see his dad. Vicky and Shannon do their show. The first line from Vicky at the show, I want to do a shot of tequila. We're not driving. And then Shannon brings up her DUI at one point. So she's like, I did get a DUI. And someone starts to clap, but no one else. Like you could tell they were like, oh, no, sorry. But then Shannon gets into, but I'm doing a lot better and I learned a lot. And then they're like, okay, good. Now we can clap. I'm like, don't clap for the DUI part yet. Vicky's confessional with regard to the show. It's important for Shannon to have this outlet to show these people, I don't drink anymore. I'm good. Well, I shouldn't say she doesn't drink anymore because she does. Is that shade? Was that a little shade? But also Vicky is so not supportive. If Shannon were to not drink or were to want to not drink again, I don't know if Vicky would be super supportive. It sounds like Vicky would be bummed out that she'd lose her drinking buddy, but I don't know. But then, okay, another thing, Jen talks to her son. And I didn't realize her ex-husband was living in a one-bedroom apartment. Like, they've really fallen from grace. Like, didn't he work for her family's company? And so did they fire him? And now he has no job? I think that sounds so savage for the like the family that it's also, their family at that point. Like, they were married for so long. Did I miss something? Maybe I missed something last year. Did they explain that? Because that's fucking crazy. If they were like, yeah, you no longer are married to Jen, so you're fired and your income is gone, yet, you're the father of our grandkids. I'm like, what am I missing here? I've got to be missing something. But I think Jen did say something about that last season. Like, when he's working for the family business and we're not married anymore. Didn't she say something like that? I got to rewatch last year. I got to rewatch last season. God knows this memory of mine. But now we're at the final party of the episode, and that's when the good stuff happens. And Jen is hosting this at Ryan's very intentionally because she's, not felt like she can do that. But they're like, do it, girl. Throw that party at Ryan's. So Emily, when she gets there, she makes like an Ozempic joke, and Tamara goes, "Don't say that because people will think you're on Ozempic." And Emily goes, "I'm not on Ozempic, which is why I need to wear jeans." Alrighty, okay. Alexis arrives, and Alexis is a lot here. Heather goes, thank you for coming to the GLAAD Awards. I wish you had brought John, honestly. I know how much he supports you. And this makes Alexis go to this weird place. And so they're like, what's wrong? Are you okay? And then she's like, I can't fake it with you girls. And they're like, okay. Heather goes, okay, so spit it out. Alexis, but I just really want to say you girls are really like my girls. I just really want you guys are just like, you're my girl. Okay. And Tamara was like, what happened? Get to the damn point. Nothing has happened. She's just exhausted. And honestly, she just needs all the attention is what it feels like. Like she literally just wants to be the center of the attention in that moment, which, I guess, nope, that's not. I was going to say, I guess Shannon does that too, but no, this is different. Gina is listening. Gina's there, present, listening to her. Emily and Tamara, though, they go running off to make fun of her. And Tamara even goes, so John has a type. And meaning like, because Shannon was always like all frazzled and frantic. And then so like, that's why like, that's how Alexis is. But I'm thinking, aren't you her friend, Tamara? I could have swore you were tight with Alexis and like defending Alexis. What am I missing? Alexis is is she fucked up? Like, is she wasted or something? Because she goes into like a strange accent at one point. She goes, I'm literally, it's a lot, but I want to have fun with everybody tonight. What? What the? She does this really weird voice. I can't recreate. I want to have fun with everybody tonight. I don't know, it's a really weird voice. It's so bizarre. Gina's doing so much for Alexis too. She's like, oh, yeah, you want to have fun? I'm going to help. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you treating her like a baby? Well, she's a grown adult. I don't know if Gina's worried that maybe she's been too mean to Alexis and maybe that she's like overcorrecting or something. But when Gina goes to bring Alexis in to like fix her makeup or something, Tamara and Emily hide in the kitchen so that Alexis doesn't see her. All right, then they play this truth or dare Jenga thing, and they're starting to play it, but Alexis has to come out, and she's like, I've recollected myself. I'm better. And they're like, okay, just exist. What? Then she pulls a block because of one of the Jenga blocks, and it says, who do you hate? I hate the devil. And then she throws it in the fire. I want to see it burn, and throws the little Jenga thing in the fire. Or Heather has to be like, that's not even a real fire. What in the what is this girl is wackadoo. Wackadoo. Then okay, wait. When Tamara pulls the Jenga block thing that says to pee on the grass, pee in the yard, Tamara pees by the pool on the concrete. But no. Don't do that. Was anyone else just so disgusted by that? I'm like, she's really peeing. She's really just peeing right there. I feel insane, but I'm like, that's no, we're not. Okay. That was crazy. What the fuck? All right. Then Tamara, she's like, hey, Heather, when's the fashion line coming out? This gets Emily on the very topic she's been wanting to talk about all week. She says, I have a question. When you asked for our measurements, she really does say that weird, measurements, you asked me to bring jeans. And so she gets into her version of events and she's crying. And I'm sorry, Heather is listening and hearing her and giving a sincere, I'm so sorry you felt like that. Heather was like, I wanted to kind of make you the star of the show. I gave you 3 looks to be changed into. And Emily goes, I didn't even feel good in the dress because Alexis was in it too. Katie then chimes in on top of a size 12 dress. She said Alexis's was a size 2. Do you hear yourself? No offense, Emily, but it's just a fact that you are bigger than Alexis. It's just a fact. Like, you sent in measurements. So those are the measurements you would get. Like, I am so fucking confused by this right now. Because, Katie, I get that you wanna take this on. I get that you wanna make this like, "See, isn't Heather the worst?" But I'm also like, "But if you said measurements and you're upset because your dress was bigger than someone who's smaller than you, that's not Heather's fault." But now Emily is here's what happens. She's so lost in her triggers. I've said this last week. She needs a little bit of therapy to get some tools for moments like this. I hate saying this, but I could recognize a lot of myself and Emily in these moments. I know what it's like to kind of get lost in your triggers in the moment, and you're not getting a feeling from someone that you want to get, and you're blaming them for it, and you just go to like yelling. And she goes, "Why don't you just sit back and say, you know what, Emily? I didn't think of it like that." Heather literally said that. She literally went, "No, no, I'm so sorry you felt that way. I am so sorry." And Emily goes, "No, you're not. You're being rude." But then Alexis goes, "And now you're comparing me to you?" And she's like, "What the Emily's like, "Why are you talking?" How, Alexis? How, Alexis? How H how do you hear what Emily said and interpret that as a bad thing? She's talking about how you're not paying attention. She's talking about how she feels fat, felt gross and big and didn't fit in, didn't look good, and she couldn't feel good in the dress because Alexis, who's so hot, obviously that's what she means, was in the dress, and Alexis has turned this into it's so confusing. You could Jen, the most patient of all of them, is like, "I can't even do this." Jen looks like she wants to strangle her. What the hell? Where did you come from, Alexis? So Heather tries to say again that she did just listen and apologize, but you want to keep coming at me. And Alexis then goes, "Yeah, you did apologize." And Emily goes, "Just shut up." My God. Alexis, did you just tell me to shut up? You just brought me into this. No, no. It's not what happened. You're just a wackadoodle tonight. That's like Emily might have been overreacting to what the Heather thing is and needs to, work on her own, like in interpersonal issues with it. But she had every reason to be so annoyed with Alexis. What the hell, Alexis? What the fuck? Katie has this confessional where I'm like, "Oh, yeah, see, she's just really she's trying to take an opportunity here to make Heather look bad." And she says, "I think Heather gets defensive when she's not painted in this perfect light. Instead of just listening, apologizing, and moving on, she makes it about her." Well, she actually did listen and did apologize. And so I don't really know. Sorry. So they've all like kind of separated, but then Emily goes and tries to pull Heather. "Can we just talk one on one?" I'm I I'm with Heather being like, "You're the one who wanted to talk in front of everyone." And then Emily goes, "Oh, do you want to yell? Do you want to do that?" Emily. Emily. But like this gets crazy because then Emily says, "I want to have a conversation." And Heather goes, "But you should have done that over there." And Emily takes her hand and goes, "Don't point at me." And Emily goes, "Stop talking to me like this." Emily, and you're being rude and condescending. It's tough because we're the octave that Emily's voice is at now. It's like, oh, no one's hearing this. You sound like it's like that tone where you just naturally want to like tune it out. You know what I mean? Alexis is still going about Emily. She's sitting back over there like, "Can you believe she brought me into it?" And Jen looks like she wants to be like, "Get out of the house. Get out of this house. I don't want you here anymore." She looks like she's like, okay. I don't think I've ever seen Jen do this. Alexis goes, "I'm at my lowest point, and you said, 'How dare you put me in a dress next to Alexis?'" Jen, I don't think we've ever heard her yell like this. She goes, "That's more of a compliment." I'm like, "Okay, Alexis, you're pushing Jen, the yoga teacher, to the brink. All right." Alexis, "I'm already broken. I'm already a broken bird." Mhm. It's really tough when someone wants sympathy so bad, it's like you don't want to give it to them. When they're begging for it like this, you're like, well, now you don't get it. Now I don't want to give it to you. All right. But I know Alexis is going through a lot. She had just lost her mom. She talks about how that's kind of a big one for her. Gina goes, she's trying to say that you're so beautiful. It makes her insecure. Alexis, I'm already going through so much. Okay. Tamara is full team Heather, which let's note that because who knows what she'll be saying at Emily's face later because you know how she likes to, play both sides. You know what I mean? But she's like, this is not okay. This is not okay. Heather is done. She's going off in the kitchen. And Alexis, once again, comes in and then she pulls me into it. And I'm like, in a dress next to her. I didn't know. She's crazy. She's looking it's like hard to do impressions of Alexis because I'm so confused by what is happening. And she is too. But Gina's now being very supportive to Emily. It's sweet. And then they head inside to say goodbye. Emily goes, you don't have to look at me like that, Heather. And Heather goes, I'm upset and I will look at you like this. Well, I'm upset too. Okay, but we've established. I didn't say you did anything to me, but when I started to say what I wanted to say, you were pissed. And then Alexis chimes in from off camera. No, you kept going. Oh, Emily, I didn't ask you. Oh, it's like rare. Alexis tries to come back with something, but Emily goes, you're a friend. And then once again, Alexis, totally missing the point in her confessional, goes, you're right, Emily. I am a great friend. I mean it. She did not know. Maybe she did know and she was trying to take the power back. But I want to believe that Alexis was like, yeah, I am a friend. That's right. It's like, no, she meant friend on the show. She was like, you're below me, the bitch. As she's walking out, Emily screams, shut up, Alexis. Go fuck John some more, you fucking idiot. Oh my God. I mean, a little too far. I just wish Alexis hadn't gotten involved. Even though she would say that Emily got her involved, but were you just not listening? I don't think she understands stuff. But that was insane, but also really good, right? Did anyone not enjoy that? Because I thought it was pretty hysterical and pretty all over the place. And yes, Emily overreacted, but I feel like, well, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if Emily, because this was kind of coming from last season too. She was, when Heather said she looked like a snuffleupagus. Emily interpreted that to mean a big, fat, hairy animal, but it was about her hair and the texture of her hair. And, maybe some people do think that Heather is fat shaming Emily. I don't see it personally. And I'm someone who knows Emily's probably thinner than I am. Or in better shape, maybe. I don't know. But I know myself, and I know that it's not easy to be next to someone smaller than you, especially when you're in the same outfit. But that's not on Heather, So I feel like this is now 2 seasons in a row where she's really carrying her own insecurities and projecting them onto Heather. Because it's like she's looking. That's what it's like she's looking. There's nothing so blatant to me that I'm like, oh, yeah, Heather is so fat shaming. It's more like, yeah, I guess you really bend your head to think about it. I guess we could go there. But that's not, I don't see that. But we will, of course, be picking up this next week. There's no way it's over now. When people talk about transitioning their wardrobes, I'm always like, what the hell are you talking about? But we are getting into cooler weather, and I have just summer items. However, it's not going to be too hard because I've been shopping at Quince, and they give you that timeless, high-quality items you need, but at a fraction of the cost. I got a washable silk button-up top. It's short sleeve, but I can throw one of their cashmere sweaters over it, get my jeans going. You know what I'm talking about? The best part is Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They also have sheets, towels. I just ordered some sheets. They arrive on Thursday. I'm actually very excited. I got 2 sets of their bamboo sheets because I just need to know if they really are comparable to another brand that is 2 times as expensive. I'll keep you posted on that. The thing is, Quince only works with factories that use the best fabrics and finishes, also safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. But because they work directly with the factories, they pass that savings on to us. They get rid of that middleman and they say, here you go. Here is the savings. So make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/she speaks for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/she speaks to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/she speaks. I know you've heard of Ozempic or Wegovy, and you've probably heard 3 things. You've heard that they are effective, but they're also expensive and hard to get. But that is where RHO comes in. Through RHO, you can access prescription compounded GLP-1s with the same weight loss ingredient as brand name GLP-1s at a fraction of the cost. RHO has compounded GLP-1s in stock now, and members have support throughout the entire process. If you are eligible for the medication, you have access to your provider on demand with any questions, and you can see if you qualify from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to make a doctor's appointment or commute to a doctor's office or anything. And if you are prescribed, your medication can ship directly to you in 1 to 4 days. Okay? Go to ro.co/she speaks. Memberships start at just $99 for your first month. Medication costs are separate. That's ro.co/she speaks. Go to ro.co/safety for black box warning and full safety information. Compounded medication is not required to and does not receive FDA review or approval, prescription only. But for now, for now, let's talk about the Salt Lake City premiere. We get a very interesting cold open about something about being on reality TV, and it's a bond and a friendship. But sometimes that circle turns on us. Dude, the shot, it's a really fucking weird shot. It's all of the women in a circle looking up at a camera that's got an aerial view, and then it starts to turn and twirl. And I'm like, okay, wouldn't it have been amazing if like it was actually like a little mechanism, like a little disc that they were all on and having to be twirled around? Just imagining Mary on that makes me very happy. But okay, we get that already. We're like, what are we doing here? Lisa's throwing the opening party. Besos, because I just want to give all my friends little kisses to remind them that I love them, some more than others. And then they do the some more than others, some more than others, some more than others, some 2 weeks earlier. Lisa's telling Angie and Heather about Bezos. And she goes, I'm inviting Whitney. And I was kind of on the fence because she went on a podcast and was rude about me. She said, Lisa's the new villain. Okay, I listened to the podcast or watched the podcast or whatever. And she did say that. It's just, you know what? Why don't I put a pin in my thoughts on it until we get to when Whitney actually arrives and has to answer to it? Because after listening to the podcast, I'm like, Whitney knew this was going to piss off Lisa. She says it in the podcast. Like, I'm saying stuff that's going to make Lisa mad. So then when, you know, like, what the fuck? But then they flash back, they come back to the party, and Lisa's going, I don't like anything angled. I hate angles. I hate them. Then, okay, arriving together, Mary and Angie K, that are like legit besties. They got matching purses. What? Angie thinks it started with when she told Mary she had lipstick on her teeth. And honestly, I think she's right, because she said that to Mary. And then by the end, when Andy is going around at the reunion, like, so who do you like? Well, okay, so I do like Angie. And Andy's like, what? So she might not be wrong. I mean, Mary invited Angie to go with her to Kathy Hilton's Christmas party. They got matching sunglasses. Mary says Angie's just a real genuine person who really cares about me. I think that's very important for Mary, a friend that can just be like kind of all about them and their well-being. I don't really love Angie. Like, I don't think she kind of gets on my nerves, but I like Mary liking Angie. Does that make sense? Heather comes walking in looking fab. Looking fab. She goes to Lisa, I love a theme. Lisa goes, okay, it's not really a theme, it's just high fashion. Because you know that was her, that really mattered to her. She's like, don't tell people I did a theme party. I don't do theme parties. All right. First thing Mary says to Heather, you're thin. I mean, Heather's not wrong. She's like, I finally figured out how to get Mary to like me. I lost 25 pounds. I know it's fucked up, but it's accurate. So Bronwyn, let's talk about Bronwyn. It's the first episode and only one event. So I am not going to do what I would like to do, which is be like, I actually didn't mind her. I think that from the trailer, it looked like she's just going to be coming in being that chick who's extra with the clothes. But it seems like this is actually who she really is in her core. So I don't hate that. But I'm not going to say like I stan her or anything yet. Like she did a good job. She impressed me more. I love the story of how she met Lisa. She met Lisa in a Nordstrom, and she'll be like, Lisa will tell you that, she complimented me on things I was picking up. And I was like, okay, why is this woman in sweatpants telling me this? And I can just see Lisa in like her sweats going to Nordstrom being like, oh my God, I love that. And having this woman, Bronwyn, be like, okay. But then I guess this is what Bronwyn says. A friend then later connected them like, you guys need to know each other. And as Bronwyn says, quote, we've seen each other quite a bit over the years, which to me says we're not friends. She didn't say we've been friends for all these years. She said we've seen each other quite a bit. So this is one of those like, yes, we knew each other. We were friends. But although remember Angie Harrington came on, like I am Lisa's friend, and then that quickly went away. So what does it matter? What's the point? What point am I making? Again, though, they do this effect with Lisa's voice because Lisa's talking about Bronwyn and she goes, yeah, she's over the top, over the top, over the top, over the top. 5 days earlier. Bronwyn is wearing, now what is this? To go get lunch or brunch or whatever with Lisa. It's boy short. It's a leopard print puffy jacket bikini. I don't know fashion. But Bronwyn does things like couture in Paris, like whatever the fuck that means. So this is like her thing. Couple facts about her that I found interesting. She has 6 dogs, all named after characters from House of Cards. Wow. Okay. Interesting. And 6, they're all boxers, right? All of her dogs. They're all the same breed. Also, her husband is 65 and she is 38. Now, they've been together 10 years. So, but that just means but I could see 28 and 55. Yeah, it's still right there in the window of like, that's what happens, Meredith arrives with her friend Jamie. Have we seen Jamie before with the prosthetic leg? I wanted to get more information from her. On Whitney's drive, Whitney is coming with her friend, I believe it's Meili? Meili. Is that what that means? Is that how you say that? And she's like, I guess Lisa is mad at me now for something. And just, I don't know. Like, she just has not been a safe space for me. And she said, but Whitney claims the last 6 months have been the best in her life, except the relationships with all of her friends since New York. I love that they still don't let them refer to it as the reunion. They still have to say last time we were in New York because it will fuck up the brand. But it's like the reunion, just say the reunion. They never, all of them will say when we were in New York. I just want to know who has said reunion and had them have to step in and go, oh, you said reunion. We're going to need you to go back and do that line again. It's New York. I'm like, all right. Whitney, though, when she does arrive, does not say hi to Lisa. which Lisa's like, wow, okay, cool. And Heather goes, do you want to go say something? And Lisa goes, no, she'll figure out later that she has bad manners. Okay, now we get Brittany. Brittany is introduced as Heather's friend, who is dating Jared Osmond, which is amazing when Heather explains, like, the Osmonds, this is the equivalent of dating Prince Harry. Oh, okay. I forgot that the Osmonds were like the Mormon spokespeople, the Mormon royalty. But apparently Brittany and Jared break up all the time. They broke up earlier that day. She's like, we've broken up like 16 times. But okay, let's get into that. So Bronwyn and Mary sit together, and it's actually amazing because you never know what you're going to get with Mary. And Mary tells her, I love your coat. And they're like, oh, thanks, thanks. Enter Brittany. Oh, I love your costume. This interaction could not have gone worse for Brittany from start to finish. Literally. Mary goes, Mary, I'm sorry, I don't know if I can say this line. Oh, Lord, she done called it a costume. That just came out of her mouth. I'm done. That's fashion, honey. Bronwyn goes, those are fighting words for Mary and I. Brittany's like, why are those fighting words? And Mary says, because we don't wear costumes, we wear fashion. Cut to her confessional. Who's this? It's like, it was as funny as when she went, who is Angie? That interview soundbite, when that came up first time I watched it, that episode of last season where they get to the Trixie Motel, I was crying. That's the same episode when Mary talked about the bird that she had. I had a bird. He was weird. I had an African gray. He would stare at me all the time. Like a flying cat. That episode was so good. Oh my God. Who's this? Then, but Brittany goes, I love fashion. Well, unfortunately, you don't. Okay. Like, I can't say I love fashion. Like, sure, yeah, I like to look good, but like, I don't know anything about fashion. So Bronwyn's coat, there's only 3 in the world. One, Rihanna has, and the other one is in a museum. So just Mary's like, I have an entire office of just clothes. And, having had 5 siblings, we never had enough. Brittany then thinks she's going to have a conversation now. She's like, oh, perfect. So you became kind of a hoarder? Mary goes, not a hoarder, babe. That's a little much. I mean, like the scarcity, because, I was there. I grew up poor as well. Harry says, why was I poor? I didn't say that. I'm like, Brittany, just run away. Brittany, like physically run away now. Please. Because then Brittany gets like offended. Like, well, I grew up poor. I came from 5 siblings. So I found myself, hiding rolls in my purse to take home. Mary says, oh no, I would never do that. Bronwyn tries. She's like, that's totally okay. Mary goes, no, that's not okay. Putting food in your purse. Bronwyn's like, no. If you did it and like tries to be nice because Brittany goes, well, if you grew up poor, you would understand. Oh, just run. But Mary goes, okay, pause. I'll be right back. And gets up to walk away. And Brittany goes, I totally offended her. So that's just one scene. That was a side scene. Like, that wasn't even a major moment. Oh my God. Heather then asks Meredith, have you seen Whitney? Yeah, she's here. She's here. 3 weeks earlier. Meredith has gotten a breast reduction for the 3rd time because her natural breast tissue keeps growing. Heather's like, okay, these are caviar problems already. We are already off to such a great start with Meredith. Meredith is obviously upset about things and thinks that none of her issues got addressed in New York, because there were other things happening. And then Meredith says that her issue with Whitney is her launching bath products. That's hurtful, you know? The bath is my thing. Everyone knows it. And I said, don't come after my bathtub. Do I have to say, don't come after my bath products? The fact that this woman said that, seriously, she fucking meant that line with her entire being. She will say, don't come after my bath products. I don't think she still thinks I don't think she understands don't come after my bathtub is funny. She thinks that's serious. So it's an attack on me. Yes, it is. It is an attack on you. But before we can get to Meredith sauntering over to Whitney, Lisa's talking about Jack's mission like it's a fabulous vacation. He found 2 Michelin star restaurants in Bogota, and it's like so cheap. So I told him, save that one for when Dad and I come to pick you up. Bronwyn's like, that's a little different than the missions I knew about. Bronwyn got kicked out of BYU, which I do like. I do love that. But she grew up very devout. Look, Jack can't make it up. This is just what the missions are. Maybe things really have changed that much. I mean, look at the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. They're like, yeah, we're not like what you imagine. So maybe that's just what it is. The older generation just got a real fucked up version of it because now you can be Mormon and not have to go through all that. I'd be pissed too. Be like, how come I had to do that and now they don't have to? That would piss me off too. Now, Meredith saunters over to Whitney, starts right up. I have to ask, what is up with the bath bombs? The bath bumps? Bombs. My bath bombs? Meredith says, in New York, I'm launching a bath collection. And then they flash to the reunion. This was Meredith launching a bath collection. Meredith was doing her warm and fuzzy. My warm and fuzzy was churning butter. Angie leans over and jokingly says she's going to launch a butter line. Just watch. Then Meredith says, a butter bath. Okay, that was it, you guys. You were supposed to know that she was dead serious and was planning on launching a fucking bath line. Meredith goes, you launched jewelry last year. You launched bath this year after I said I was doing it. What is your problem with me? The start of last season was the exact same thing. It was it was a dig on my marriage and a dig on my bathtub, where she meant that so fucking seriously, guys. Here we are again. Now it's bath bombs. Meredith, the message I'm getting from you is that you don't want to be my friend. Whitney goes, Whitney kind of gets her here. She goes, well, if you were a friend to me, you would know that I already had bath bombs. That's how I launched my business. You bought Iris and Beau and put it in your store. Meredith cannot take this in. Meredith's like, you didn't have bath bombs when I bought it. Whitney's like, I completely did. I 100% did. You didn't buy the bath bombs because I didn't think that they would work in a jewelry store, but you thought skincare would. Okay. All right. Okay. When he goes, it's not fair that you're accusing me of not wanting to be friends because I could argue that I don't know that we're friends because I never hear from you. Meredith goes, oh, yeah, well, perhaps it's because you know what happened last year. What? You don't know why you're mad either. I was held accountable for all the things Reality Von Teese did, particularly by you. By you. But then, whilst this is happening, whilst this conversation is going down, Angie is watching off to the side. And they flash over to Heather telling Lisa and Angie in their little meetup that we've seen a few times now that Meredith is expecting an apology. So now, and I'm not kidding. I think Angie's like, perfect. I have a feud for the show. Because this woman interrupts. Whitney's like trying to resolve it. Whitney's like, no, Meredith, I'm asking you a question. But then Angie's just like steps over her. Angie goes, I have a prop and a line to deliver. Excuse me. She says, Heather made me aware that you are wanting an apology from me, and I'm happy to give you an apology, Meredith. Here's a few things I'd like an apology for. The scroll. And here's why it doesn't work. A prop like this can't look like you care so much. You've spent too much of your own personal time on it, so it loses its read ability. It's like, ooh, a prop that's props are rarely good, to be clear. I don't know when they've ever worked, but especially one where it's like, I have so many questions. Where'd you buy that? You know what I mean? So that's why it doesn't work, because all anyone can focus on is the fundamentals of it. Like, hold on, wait a minute. Did you go, like, it's like when Wendy brought the blown up text messages. It's like, what are, but, and then wait, did you go to a Kinko's? And it always makes it a little embarrassing for that person. You know what I mean? A little embarrassing for that person. She's fair in her shade. She's like, Angie's a hard worker. She works hard and has the time, maybe too much time. Angie says she thought Meredith would just laugh it off. I thought Meredith would laugh it off, and then this is her confessional moment, because then she also has this line prepared, but she has no sense of humor. I think it went down the drain with her dirty bathwater. Like, she's so mugging for the cameras all the time. I think that's what gets on my nerves with Angie. It's like she's so aware that she needs to have a moment. She needs to make and they always put it in, so I guess it works. So then Lisa makes a whole speech. So many of you check in on me all the time, and I love you so much, but I don't love podcasts. We got to work some things out. But I have a beautiful dinner inside, so freezing was worth it. They open the door. Whitney's like, what? But here's the thing, Whitney, you knew this was coming. Out of your own mouth on that podcast, you said this is going to be brought up first day of filming, just watch. And then you went and continued to choose fighting words, which you're allowed to do, but like you can't act dumb when it becomes a problem, because it's like, when they're going to sit down, the Mary sat next to Brittany. When she said, I don't want her sticking bread in my purse. Oh my God. I don't want her sticking bread in my purse. It's so fucked up to say that, because Brittany was trying to share a story of how her trauma caused her to hoard things. And now Mary's like, ew. And that had to have been when she was an adult, because when you're a kid, you don't have a purse. Oh, God. One of my favorite products that I tell everyone about, and it might be a little embarrassing, but I don't care. Lumi Whole Body Deodorant. If you've been following me for a while, you've already heard this story 100 times. But I found Lumi, it found me, I should say, when I thought I had an STD due to an odor in the bikini area that was new. And I got this targeted ad that said whole body deodorant for pits, privates, and something else. But I was like, wait a minute. Body odor in the bikini region. Why did I never think of that? So I impulse purchased the Lumi, and I've never looked back. I personally prefer the deodorant stick, but they do also do a deodorant cream tube. It's a whole body formula, so you can use it behind your knees, where your elbows crease, wherever you get icky when it's hot. For example, I went out running errands last week when it was in the middle of the heat wave, and I was so sweaty and gross. And when I came home to get in the shower, I still smelled like toasted coconut everywhere. Okay. I use it under my boobs. And I've never had any irritation. It's never caused any sort of skin rash or anything like that. It is pH balanced for safe use below the belt, and it's baking soda free and paraben free. And apparently it can block odor for 72 hours, which is an insane thought. Please shower in that time frame if possible. But if you're at like a festival, that would be brilliant. I also have to use the Lumi body wash every time I shower. I showered at a friend's house recently, and they didn't have Lumi body wash, and I felt gross, because Lumi body wash actually does control odor. And I love the clean tangerine, but they also do a lavender sage and unscented. But clean tangerine just makes me feel fresh as hell. So Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers because it comes with a solid stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. So, as a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. Use code SheSpeaks for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code SheSpeaks at LumiDeodorant.com. I don't know what the science is exactly behind this, but I have been making the wild grain pasta that I got in my last box for dinner. And see, wild grain pasta is frozen. Everything you get is frozen. And wild grain is the first ever bake from frozen subscription box because usually you got to thaw things. But there's something about the frozen pasta going into the boiling hot water that does something. I don't know if it thickens the water, it extracts more flavor. I don't know. But I have been loving it. It's helping me save money, but it's also making me feel like a chef. It's so good. I'm not even kidding. I just eat it with my vegan butter and some salt and pepper. They're so good. The linguine, I'm in heaven. I also love, because I have in the freezer still, I've got some sourdough loaves in there, just waiting to be thrown in the oven if I have company coming over. It's such a flex to be like, oh, that's just some bread baking in the oven. Again, you bake it from frozen, and it bakes from frozen in 25 minutes or less. It's crazy. Your wild grain box is also very customizable, so you can enjoy any combination of breads, pastas, pastries. Oh my God, you guys, the croissants are genuinely the best croissants I've ever eaten. And Wild Grain just launched a brand new plant-based box featuring a wide selection of plant-based pastries, breads, and hand-cut pastas. For a limited time, you can get $30 off your first box, plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/shespeaks to start your subscription. You heard me. Free croissants, the delicious ones in every box. And $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/shespeaks. That's wildgrain.com/shespeaks, or you can use promo code SheSpeaks at checkout. It turns out Whitney and Bronwyn actually have a lot in common when it comes to the age gap with their husbands. Bronwyn's stepson is older than her. Whitney thought she had her. She's like, I'm only 5 years older than my stepson, and I'm closer in age to his kids than to him. They've been married 10 years, so I guess, like, who am I to say? When she tries, Bronwyn in her confessionals, like, I just never think about the age difference. It just doesn't cross my mind. I'm like, really? When you look at him naked? Doesn't? Okay. All right. It doesn't matter because you're happy, honestly. Heather makes a joke now they're all sitting at the dinner table. Heather makes a joke about Angie's scroll, but then she like shames her for it. And she's like, I think that was a bad foot to start out on, honestly. I was like, well, that was dumb of you to say. Shut the hell up. But Angie's like, you said she wanted an apology, and so do I. And Meredith stares. I've already apologized to you multiple times, Angie. I'm not engaging with you. And then Angie, this is where I'm like, okay, I'm telling you, Angie thought this can be my show feud. This can be like what kind of gives me a thing this season. And Angie's like, she turns away because she knows she's guilty. And Heather's like, but you guys resolved it, I thought. We never resolved her fucking telling someone to take my house. I have a daughter. You don't do that to a family. Okay, I'm with Meredith. I'm like, all right. You got this information from Monica. You know, even if Meredith had said all that stuff, it's not like it really happened. Maybe she had said, like, come on. But yeah, it is kind of fucked up if she did say that. And I'm sure she did. And I'm sure she did in her pilled out wine state that she was in when she was in, where were they? Bermuda? Wherever. Meredith, oh God, I didn't tell her to take your house. That is absurd. We are finished. Just leave me alone. You leave me alone in your fucking rentals. Angie won't stop. Bronwyn tries. Bronwyn's like, let's draw a line. Not talk about it anymore. Yeah, I don't want anyone talking about my house. Okay, you're still talking about it. Look, I own my home. You don't tell someone to sue someone for their house. Just saying. I don't want a renter talking about my home that I own. All right. Okay, are we done? Because we're done. Unfortunately, Angie, none of us saw her say that, and it was from Monica. So like we don't feel the impact with you. Do I know that Meredith plants stuff and does like the Lisa Vanderpump tactic of trying to like get people to say stuff on camera so that her hands are clean? Yeah, I do know that. But you are not coming at this, in my opinion, in a strong way that's going to get anywhere. It's sounding kind of like naggy, like ugh. Whitney finally brings up Lisa mentioning the podcast and why she's acting so unaware. I don't know. I hear you have a problem with me and a podcast. Bitch, you say it yourself. You say this is going to come up when we film. So if you don't know, I'm sure by now you do because it was on the thing. When she goes on Nick Vile's podcast, Nick Vile, by the way, and Natalie, his wife, they hate Lisa. They very clearly don't like Lisa and like Meredith a lot. And that they really feed her questions from that perspective. So it's like, has Lisa ever apologized sincerely? So, already you're asking a question that's going to be skewed negatively, unless, of course, Whitney were to say, yes, I have. And so, like I said, I did watch and listen, and I posted the clips that pertained to Lisa. Whitney doesn't say anything that could be considered what Lisa calls a lie. Or wait, Whitney doesn't say anything. Did I get that name wrong? You know what I mean. Whitney on the podcast does not say anything that's like, Lisa stole money from someone. Like, she doesn't make a blatant accusation. Technically, all Whitney is talking about are her opinions, that Lisa's always been the villain. Lisa plots. Lisa always makes it about herself. She can't hear someone else's opinion because she if it's not a good opinion about her, then she just calls them wrong and she won't hear it. It's all that kind of stuff. So when Lisa gets like bogged down with saying, you lied, I can kind of get why Whitney's like, but I didn't lie. It's just my opinion on you. But Whitney said things that it's like, that's going to piss off Lisa. And if you're at the reunion trying to claim that you want resolution and then you're going on like her energy on the whole podcast was like, I'm having fun being shady. I'm doing my shady podcast appearance. Like she was reveling in this moment. So of course Lisa's going to be pissed about that, because it seemed like she was coming for Lisa, saying that Lisa's not a good person. That she even says, I don't want to be friends in a friendship that's a one-way street anymore. Whitney had been practicing this damn analogy for this podcast, you can tell, since the reunion. I lived in San Francisco and I had enough of one-way streets. Okay. I went down, when you go the wrong way down a one-way street, it's not good. I'm tired of that. Why are you rehearsing this so much? Okay. So, yeah, sure, she didn't lie, but you had to expect this was coming. You had to expect Lisa was going to be pissed at you, So maybe what you could say, how about that? Maybe what you could say is, I knew you'd be upset because I know you don't like it when I have an opinion about you that you don't think is correct. But those are my opinions about you. But I am sorry that I didn't reach out to you. I don't know. Whitney's not sorry. Whitney's not sorry for what she says. And you know what? Fine. Don't be upset. But Lisa goes, your podcast was not about you. It was about me. And Whitney says, well, I think that you're self-absorbed. So you heard it was about yourself. Okay, so you don't, you want to fight. Lisa goes, people who love themselves take care of themselves. It's called self-love. And with your healing journey, you'd think you'd know that by now. Whitney wants to, okay, what part are you upset about? That podcast was 2 hours long. I didn't talk about you the whole time, which is true. She didn't. There was like segments that were about Lisa, but not the whole thing. Lisa goes, well, you talked about me enough. Do you want to say you're sorry? If you're going to lie about me, expect me to tell the truth about myself. That line is so convoluted and like, what? But it works. If you're going to lie about me, but she didn't lie. She told a version of you from her perspective that obviously isn't glowing. But the lie, it's not necessarily a lie. Like, we're not going to. Whitney goes, well, I'm not a liar. What did I lie about? You went on a podcast and bashed me. Okay, you're mad that I didn't speak roses about you. You lied about me to disparage my character. Lisa, my experience isn't a lie. That's my experience of you. Lisa, this is Whitney's confessional. Lisa saying I'm lying about my feelings is narcissist 101. Now, is Lisa a narcissist? I haven't thought of that, but is she? I'm sure people are like feverishly saying yes, because I know a lot of people hate Lisa, but I don't know if a narcissist is what I would call her. But I guess she just seems so oblivious and self-absorbed. Yeah, I'll give her that. But narcissist, huh? But then Whitney goes, that would be like me saying Diet Coke is not the best. Diet Pepsi is the best. And if you fucking ever said that to me, I would backhand you. No, it's not. Now, Whitney, she got a little neck roll going. I think that if I don't kiss every part of your asshole, then I'm not a good enough friend to you. Whitney then goes, you keep bringing it up. It got brought up last week. And Lisa figures out like, what, and back it up. Who told you? Who told you this? Whitney pauses like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. We didn't even, I knew it was Angie for some reason. I knew it wouldn't be Heather because Heather and Whitney weren't good. But then they show us, flash to Angie on camera, telling Whitney what Lisa said. Whitney also shows her jealousy too here, because when Angie says, I went on a walk with Lisa and Heather, Whitney goes, our two new little besties. Because she's very obsessed with Lisa. And remember last year when her and Heather were having issues, like, you are just jealous of my friendship with Lisa. You are just jealous of my friendship with Lisa. Very much centered on her. Okay, but back to Bessos. Lisa is demanding she tell her who told her, and Whitney goes, I'm not telling you until you listen to me. So we'll just be in a standoff. And they play this like Western music. Heather says it wasn't her. So Lisa's like, Angie, did you tell her about the conversation? Angie goes, which part? Meredith chimes in, well, clearly she did. Clearly she did. Lisa goes, you know how I feel right now? Isolated. Because I have no one to talk to. Angie goes, you both vent to me, okay? You said plenty. She said plenty. Lisa goes, standing up. It's not about who says plenty. It's about repeating what I said. That is true. That is true. It doesn't matter. Like, Angie, you can't do that. And are you telling Lisa what Whitney says about her? Because if you are really doing it to both of them, then that's one thing. But it seems like you're going to Whitney with what Lisa said, but not returning the favor to Lisa. You know what I mean? Lisa stands up. She does have an issue with standing up. She does. She does quickly sit back down, but she does stand up a lot. And it's like, that would be misinterpreted by many people. So you have to, you know what I mean? Like, it's just different for white women. Sorry to say that. Sorry. It just is. But Lisa's ghetto. I'll say it. Lisa can get really ghetto. But when Lisa stands up, she's like, do you want to be involved in this? And she's like, I don't want to be involved. Oh, girl, please. Yes, you do. You literally want to be involved. Lisa's like, she lied about me and you know it. Angie says, I know you both. And I think Lisa just doesn't want to be wrong. What? Are you aggravating the situation even further? What are you doing, Angie? Because then obviously Lisa loses it again. What are you talking about? I don't care about being wrong. I don't want to be lied about. Don't fucking lie about me. You lied about me. You lied about her. You lied about her. Then Lisa takes her drink, throws it. No, actually it goes like this. It goes like this. And you fucking said that, throws drink. I slept with someone that I didn't sleep with. That was just, it was so, like, she stayed seated. She just randomly threw the drink. Was that not so out of nowhere to you? To me, it was. I was like, what the fuck? Why did she just throw that drink? And it was over. They didn't address that drink throw at all. It was very Jen Shaw. Remember when another time Whitney fucked up, when Whitney at Coach's birthday was like, Jen, I want to tell you what Meredith and Lisa are saying. And Jen goes, what? And throws a drink. That was like what Lisa just did, but just much more subtle. She just kept it moving. Want me to be your villain? I'll be your villain. That's a great line. Want me to be your villain? I'll be your villain. Love it. Whitney goes, I've never lied. And then Heather cackles. Heather can't wait to bring up the book approval. You lied and said I didn't get the approval from you for my book. Then Meredith can't wait to chime in. She accused me of lying about the date of my father's funeral. And Whitney's like, no, that wasn't me. I got involved in their mess. You actually did, unfortunately. You were the one who delivered the message. Even if someone was talking about it behind her back, you still said it to her face, which was like, oh, no. Don't do that. Meredith is so ready for this. You accused Mary of running a cult and being a predator? You accused everyone in our group of having affairs. Okay, listen, let me tell you something right now, Meredith. What you're not going to do is try to act like you haven't been talking shit about all of these people this entire fucking time. All right? You don't get to act like you don't gossip and all this shit. Absolutely not. However, continue yelling. It's funny. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's funny at this point. Heather is so fucking over the top. She's like doing that pointing thing. Heather loves to do this. You chased me out of a bar and said you exploited my vagina. That was unhinged. That really was unhinged. When Heather walks all the way away, Whitney wouldn't stop her dialogue. Whitney's like, and then you said, oh, you didn't approve of that. Like she did still got her dialogue in, even though Heather literally walked across the street. Literally. It is a little intense. This does get a little crazy having all three, because they're all talking at the same time. So it's kind of hard to like hear it. It's just like noise. It just sounds awful. So Angie does kind of come in like, okay, guys, this is a little much. Like we're doing a lot here. Whitney asks what she needs to take accountability for from the podcast. Lisa's answer is, I've shown you grace. And I'm like, what the fuck? Whitney goes, what does your grace look like? Because in my other relationships, grace doesn't look the same. So I need to understand what your grace looks like. Lisa goes, well, I feel like in your healing journey, you feel like you're more morally superior to all of us in this weird way where you're telling us how we should be. I'm just being me. And if you're my friend, you'll accept me for being me. But I'm not on the same journey as you. Whit goes, well, maybe you should be. Bronwyn has to step in and go, all right, well, you don't need to, like, she doesn't have to act like you to be okay. Well, okay, but now she's weaponizing my trauma against me. What the? See now, Whitney, what the hell? What the fucking hell are you talking about? She's not. Lisa goes, I would never do that. Heather and Meredith, of course, started chiming in again, too. Whitney, in text messages, you said, keep healing, Whit. Well, yeah. Whitney goes, do you want to meet the hilled Whitney? Fuck you, Lisa Barlow. Lisa right away. Well, then you can leave my party. You can leave. Whitney, as she's walking out, she's walking past the guys that are in this band that were there who are literally living. You could see them like smiling and then but trying to like keep it together, like, oh, be cool, they're here. Hi. Yeah. But you could tell they were they were like, yes, we were hoping this would happen, but they are loving it. So Whitney is now about to walk out from across the room. Mind you, Lisa's been yelling this whole time. Go ahead and leave, whatever. Whitney waits till she gets across the room and goes, I will not be called a liar, and I will not allow you to throw my trauma in my face as a weapon. You want to come for my healing journey? This is Hilled Wit. I'm strong and I can stand up for myself. I don't need you. Bye. It's ridiculous. Lisa goes, Angie can leave with her. And Heather goes, oh, Angie's like my girl. Lisa goes, Angie's Whitney's girl. Dude, this was all from one event. All from one event. It's like they did a play. Like they did a play and just like kind of shifted the set. And fiend. Curtain call. Standing ovation all around. Honestly, I'm not even able to care who's right or wrong because what we witnessed just now was amazing. God, that was so good. I cannot wait to see this season. Oh, God, I'm so happy. I'm so happy it's going to be. It was just so good. Oh, all right. That's it. That's it. Oh, I'm so excited to cover this show. All right, guys. I'm going to go. I'm going to get this edited, get this out to you. Love you so much. Mean it. I'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to She's Speaking with Emily Hanks. This show is produced, hosted, and edited by me, Emily, and brought to you in partnership with Cloud 10 Media. If you are looking for bonus content, check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. To show some support, you can hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Another free way to support the pod, please rate and/or review on whatever platform you listen. It's free and it helps the algorithm or something. You could also head to buymeacoffee.com/shespeaks and buy me a coffee or two. Make sure you're following me on all social medias. I am She's Speaking with Emily Hanks across all platforms: Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That's it. Thank you guys. See you soon.